What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I want to show you a deck that we in the Digimon world call Rookie Rush. Now, I call it, Swarm deck, but most people call it Rookie Rush, and I have been thoroughly outvoted on this topic. But you see, the lovely Chosugoi have gone and posted, or Alango of Chosugoi, you know what I mean, has gone and posted another winning list over in the Facebook group, and it was played by a chap called Ralph, R-A-U-F, apology for the pronunciation, and I'll tell you what, apparently winning all 4 games in under 10 minutes, and this certainly looks like the best Rookie Rush deck we've seen so far. What's really weird here is that we see a huge amount of level 3s, 38 to be precise, and then 4 level 6s. Yeah, this one's going to need some explanation. So starting off with the DIGITAMA, we've got 4 copies here of Uppermon. You are allowed to play a 5th DIGITAMA. Chose not to. Uppermon here's got a rather lovely inheritable skill, where the Digimon that has evolved from it, when they attack, if your opponent has any Digimon with no evolution sources, you draw 1 card. The theory here is that you're so fast you should be in a decent position, and a lot of the time your opponent will. They won't always, that's fine, but it gives you a little bit of draw power. Moving into level 3s, and speaking of draw power, it won't surprise you to know we play a playset here of the Gabumon from New Evolution. When you play, you draw a card. The thing about Rookie Rush is you are going to be evolving very few of these from your level 2s. You've only got 4 level 2s, you've got 38 level 3s. The vast majority of these are being played from your hand. When you play this from your hand, you draw a card. Yes, obviously. Looking at the other blues, we do have one other that does have a little bit of a skill. We are talking about the Gomamon from Ultimate Power. Now this is a 4-cost 2000 power, so a bit more expensive and a bit weaker. But the cost of this card is reduced by 1 for every one of your opponent's Digimon without evolution sources. So the theory here is that you bide your time. You play this when your opponent has 2, 3, 4 Digimon with no evolution sources, and then you play it for 1 or maybe even 0 memory. Do remember you cannot play it for less than 0. That would be silly. Elsewhere in the blues, we've got a full playset of Elecmon here. Elecmon is a 2-cost 3000 power, and this is very much the heart of Rookie Rush. 3000 power isn't great, but it's fine for a level 3, but it only costs 2 memory to play it. And the theory here is that because you're playing these cheap cards, your opponent can't keep up. You attack into their security, and okay, fine, you got a 3000 power Digimon, it's going down, but you're taking out one of your opponent's security cards. And if you're paying 2 memory to take out a security card, that's fine. The theory is you're playing so many of these quick, cheap Digimon that your opponent cannot destroy them all fast enough. Or your opponent cannot block because they haven't got enough blockers, and you just literally overwhelm them. And sure, every single one can be taken out easily when they're resting, and sure, every single one will be taken out by the security Digimon, although you might get lucky and hit a security option or tamer, and then it doesn't get destroyed, although your opponent does get the effect of that security card or tamer. But then again, it doesn't matter, because you're playing so many of these so quickly that you're absolutely fine, and you are just swarming, and it's kind of hilarious. So we've got a playset of Elecmon here. We've also got a playset of the Gomamon from Ultimate Power. And if this looks similar to Elecmon, it gosh darn well should. It's the same card. Like, literally the same card. As in, okay, not literally the same card. They've got different names and different artwork, but they are both level 3 blue Digimon that cost 2 to play normally, 0 to evolve, and have 3000 power. Again, they're cheap, and they swarm. Speaking of 2-cost Digimon, we've also got a playset here of Armadillomon, and this is a 2-cost to play normally, 4000 power. And sure, it does cost 1 to evolve, but you're never evolving into Armadillomon. Firstly, the vast majority of your other Digimon are free to evolve into, and secondly, it's a 2-cost to play normally. Clearly, you're just going to play it normally, and that's kinda brilliant. And then we've got a playset of the Bearmon from the starter deck. 3 cost to play normally, 4000 power. So, okay, fine, it's not a 2 cost, we're kind of out of 2 costs, but you do get that 4,000 power, which is slightly higher. Means if your opponent's got 2 free 4,000 power Digimon that are resting, you can take them out. A lot of the time you're going to be rushing to take out their security, but it does give you an option if you so wish. And it's nice to have options. So there are your blue, but we got a couple of green as well. And I'm sorry if you're not a huge fan of vanilla Digimon, this might not be the deck for you. You've got Gaburamon, and this is 2 cost 3,000 power. So it's exactly the same as Gomamon, but it's green. It's exactly the same as Elecmon, but it's green. 2 cost 3,000 power, yes. And then we've got Mushroomon, 2 cost 4,000 power, though it does cost to evolve. So again, here, this is just a green version of Armadillomon, exactly the same other than artwork, colour and name. But in terms of playability, it's the same card. But again, you're paying 2 and you got a 4,000 power Digimon, so you're rolling. And you've seen how many 2 cost Digimon we've got here. If you're left with like 8 memory, you're going to be playing 4 Digimon. Though, of course, you will run out of cards from your hand eventually because you don't have infinite cards, and you draw 1 when you evolve, but remember you're not evolving very much here. But do remember you've got your Uppermon for a bit of draw power, you've got your Gabumon for a bit of draw power, and you will evolve your level 2s to draw some cards, so I think you will be alright. And then we've got a single yellow Digimon in the deck here. It is Kudamon, 3 cost 1,000 power. But when you attack, if you've got 4 or fewer cards in your hand, you draw 1. And this is brilliant. I've just finished talking to you about how you're playing lots of cards from your hand, so you'll need a bit of draw power. In comes Kudamon beautifully. Yeah, fine. You've only got 1,000 power. Nobody really cares. Because what you're going to do here is draw extra cards, and that's kind of beautiful. And now the theory is that between Uppermon and Gabumon and this, you're going to have a fair amount of draw power. No, it ain't perfect, not by a long shot. But if you can draw kind of an extra card every turn, then you're drawing 2 cards per turn, and you're probably playing 2 cards per turn, and especially with the cards you've got in your hand at the beginning, that should give you enough of a bump to get enough cards down during the game. Now, I did tell you that we did play a single... Well, I told you we played 4 level 6s here, but they're all actually Puppetmon. 4 copies of Puppetmon. Why are we playing Puppetmon? It is an 11 cost. An 11 cost! And you're not evolving into it. Why are we playing an 11 cost level 6 in a deck full of loads of little rookies? For the play skill. And again, it only works when you play it, but we're not going to evolve it, so it's fine. When you play, you rest one of your opponent's Digimon, and during your opponent's next active phase, all of your opponent's Digimon cannot be made active. So if your opponent's got lost at resting Digimon, you play this down, and they stay resting. Hopefully the way the deck is working, you've already got a lot of Digimon on board, and essentially all of their blockers are resting, so they cannot block you and you can just have a free reign at their security. Or they've got a bunch of resting Digimon that you can then go ahead and take out or whatever. I love this. This is basically a, if you're playing lots of blockers, you can really hurt me. Hey, what if none of them became active? Wouldn't that be grand? Big fan of this Puppetmon. You're playing 4 to increase your chances of drawing it. I refuse to believe you're ever really going to play more than 1 in a game, but I love this deck. And I love this card. It's a beautiful tech. Kind of thing a lot of people wouldn't put in Rookie Rush, but you know what? Kind of works. Now, we do have a couple of different option cards here that are played as 4-ofs. We've got 4 copies of Hammer Spark. It's a free card that gives you an extra memory. If it comes out as a security card, it gives you 2 more memory. Fine, it doesn't give you a card advantage, but it gives you extra memory, and sometimes that is absolutely what you need. And then we've got 4 copies of Flower Cannon, which rests one of your opponent's Digimon for 2 memory. Or if it comes out as a security, it rests all of your opponent's Digimon without blocker. Hopefully that comes early in your opponent's turn and rests all of their Digimon, stopping them attacking. If they've got 4 Digimon ready to attack, but Flower Cannon comes out as a security card, they all get rested, and none of them get to attack. Also, you can rest one of your opponent's Digimon, so if they've got a blocker that's going to ruin your day, hey, rest it. If they've got a Digimon that you think is going to evolve up and become powerful, hey, rest it. Remember, most of your Digimon don't have a lot of power, so you're not taking out many evolved Digimon, but certainly taking out some of their weaker ones before they become a threat seems like it could be kind of fun to do. We've seen a bunch of cards in Ultimate Power that seem to counter Rookie Rush, and maybe those cards are going to see a bunch of play, but what this deck shows very nicely is that unless people actually start playing those counter cards in fairly high numbers, you can still end up with a player turning up at a tournament and winning all 4 of their games in 10 minutes flat. Yep. Rookie Rush is a pretty gosh darn good strategy, and it will be until people start countering it properly. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this deck, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice, and then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games, and please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.